Good afternoon, everyone. My name is David Helene. I'm the founder and CEO of Edquity. So before I start telling you about our work and what we do, I want to begin by talking to you about Jefferson. No, I'm not going to tell you about our founding father. Rather, I want to talk about a student that I had the privilege of working with in my former capacity as the executive director of a not-for-profit college access organization that I previously founded and operated for about 18 months. I met Jefferson as part of a summer program that we were running, which was helping recently graduated high school seniors plan for and financially prepare for their upcoming college enrollment. And I learned a few things about Jefferson very quickly. He was a wonderful student. He was kind, polite, extremely motivated and hardworking, and particularly dedicated to succeed at the next level. But I also learned that he was planning to borrow $11,000 a year to attend a community college that was 3.5 hours away, and the community college had a graduation rate of 18%. He revealed to me that this was the first time that anyone had really sat down and worked through with him the financial implications of his upcoming college decision. And this was really the first time that he had looked at it in any clarity at all. So while I did what any responsible counselor would do in my position, I begged him to consider more local community college options and think about transfer out. His response was completely understandable. He was scared by how late it was in the process, and he did not want to disappoint his parents. I learned a couple of things from working with Jefferson. The first is that it is criminal that our students do not have the resources that they need, not only to understand the financial implications of their upcoming decision, but also to support them on a going basis at college. But also Jefferson had been set up for financial failure. Unfortunately, he is not the exception. Jefferson is the rule. So today, of the nearly 50% of college students that drop out, 70% do so for financial reasons, making it by far the #1 driver of dropout. At the same time, a new student is going into loan default every 29 seconds. So we live at a time when the post-secondary credential is as critical as it's ever been for job placement in this country, and yet college itself is directly setting millions of our students up for financial failure. The problem for students is also a big problem for the institutions that are responsible for them. And financially induced dropout actually represents $5 billion a year in lost tuition revenue specific to this issue alone. And at the same time, financial institutions are now being forced to deal with a riskier and less profitable customer base. We believe it is time to stop the bleeding. And to that end, we've introduced Edquity, the first of its kind college financial matching, planning, FAFSA completion, financial aid award comparison, and success tool for high school and college students, which support students through each and every financial decision on that very long road to college graduation. We do this by supporting students through the 3 critical financial inflection points related to college: choice, planning, and spending. And I want to walk you really quickly through how it works. So taking Jefferson as an example, Edquity would have first, when he was doing his research, recommended a personalized list of either individual schools or 2 to 4 year pathways based on his academic and financial circumstances, and allowed him to really do his research in terms of ROI based on factors like projected personalized cost and debt, debt-to-income ratio, and other metrics around the types of financial support systems would be available to him on campuses like food pantry, and how students were doing around loan repayment. Next, Edquity would have automated the development of a granular financial plan for college success that took into consideration his unique needs and preferences, the projected impact of his work and its availability, and his financial aid. And Edquity also, with our TurboTax or FAFSA tool, would have helped him fill out the FAFSA to ensure that he received the aid that he was entitled to. And finally, Edquity would have integrated with his bank and spending accounts to offer real-time cash flow management support at college to bridge that gap between intention and action, and would have offered nudges and alerts to make sure that he stayed on that financial path to graduation. Should he have deviated from that path, Edquity would have worked directly with his college on the back end to provide preemptive risk indicators to ensure that the university could take preemptive action should Jefferson have been trending toward dropout. Taken together, Edquity would have made sure that Jefferson got to graduation. In doing so, we would have boosted his lifetime earnings, and we would have mitigated his risk of default. And for the institution, we would have saved it a lot of money. To that end, to date, we have sold Edquity to high schools, nonprofit college access organizations, and colleges. We're about to make it available on a direct-to-consumer basis, where we'll be making it free for Pell-eligible students and charging families above the Pell threshold an annual subscription per year. This is a large market opportunity. So the high school and college licensing markets alone are worth about $4 billion, but students themselves spend $520 billion a year on college-related spending, and that does not have anything to do with the credit that they're taking out. We believe that this is also a large opportunity for the taking. So existing college guidance and retention providers are completely fragmented across K-12 and higher ed, and for those platforms like Naviance and Civitas Learning, we believe that we can actually offer a lot of value to them by filling in some gaps on the financial side. For those that are competitors in the financial vertical, they're really only focused on one specific part of the problem, with competitors like Admit really only focusing on choice, while others like Frank are focused only on FAFSA completion. We are the first all-in-one solution that grows with students as they grow to support students at the root of each and every underlying cause to make sure that we produce the outcomes that students deserve. And we've already begun to tap into the market. So we launched our beta in September and have worked with clients that include the DC Public School District, Idea Public Schools, which is the largest charter in Texas, Yes Prep, the College Bound Initiative, One Goal, and we were also accepted into the Wells Fargo Startup Accelerator, through which we're working directly with the bank around different marketing and distribution opportunities. We're also recently awarded the Lumina Foundation's Lift Ed Innovation Education Prize and are very excited to be a recipient of that award. We are the right team to solve this problem and win this market. So as I mentioned, I formerly ran and operated a nonprofit, in which capacity I worked directly with 400 students in the classroom. So I know the nuances of this problem pretty well. Before that, I worked directly in financial services, worked on a couple of fintech projects, and also worked with some C-suite as the chief of staff, the youngest ever chief of staff of a financial trade association. So I also have experience working with large financial institutions. Our CTO was formerly the CTO of an excellent budgeting product that went through a couple of fintech accelerators, positioning us very well to build a best-in-class fintech product. And our chief product officer, who's a ninja, used to be the chief product officer of a digital lending startup, but perhaps more importantly, she herself dropped out of college for financial reasons. So she really is the perfect voice to be an advocate for our student users. We'll be demoing tomorrow at 11 o'clock downstairs. I'm also around, and if you're a high school principal, your college administrator that cares about retention, or just interested in learning more, I'd love to talk to you. Thanks very much.